If I'm 50 and you're possibly around the same age, you know the weight of regret. It's not just bad memories. It's an invisible burden we carry every day. It slows us down when we try to do something new.
We think regrets are lessons. They are not. A lesson is the wisdom you extract. A regret is a punishment you continue to pay yourself. And there is nothing more destructive to the future than being chained to the past.
The most important conversation you need to have is not with your partner, boss, or children. It's a conversation with yourself. You must set yourself free. You must forgive yourself.
Most of us don't even know what we're punishing ourselves for. These are deeply ingrained, often irrational beliefs that we should have done better.
Today, we will name these 7 things. We will drag them out of the shadows and apply the most powerful medicine, unconditional forgiveness. Because only by letting go of the past can you start living with full power.
Let's start with what haunts everyone, the missed opportunity, the moment fear was stronger than faith. How many times have you thought, what if I had taken the risk? If I had started that business? If I had moved? If I had just said yes? That moment, when you chose safety over the leap, haunts you. Point 1. Forgive yourself for missed opportunities. We call this the principle of unknowing. You don't know today what you knew then. Your decision was made based on the fears, information, and resources you had at that moment. You weren't a coward. You were unready. You were protecting what you had. We tend to idealize the missed chance, forgetting the potential collapse and pain that could have followed it. Your past self acted as it saw fit. Do not judge him with the wisdom and experience of your present self. Let go of that fantasy of the perfect parallel world. Once you forgive yourself, the energy you spent on that guilt is released. The irony is that you can use this freed energy to take that risk today with much greater wisdom. Take a deep breath. Tell yourself, I did the best I could with what I had. I am free from that choice. Your lesson is not in the regret, but in the realization that you can take risks now. If you're a parent, you know about chronic parental guilt. We constantly replay moments when we were too busy, too angry, or simply not good enough. This is the forgiveness that is hardest to grant ourselves. Point 2. Forgive yourself for parenting mistakes. You must embrace the principle of sufficiency. You gave your children the best that you could give, a person who worked, struggled, loved, and sometimes made mistakes.
Your children didn't need a perfect parent. They needed a real parent. Your mistakes taught them one crucial thing: how to be a person who can make mistakes and still continue to love. Drop the phrase, I should have. You didn't have to be better. You were who you were. And look around. Your children have most likely grown up to be good, strong people. That is your success. If there is something you can repair it today through an open conversation or an apology. But if it's just guilt over past imperfection, let it go. The energy you spend on guilt is better spent supporting their present. Tell yourself, I was human, not a god. I was good enough. Forgiving past imperfection frees you to be a wise and loving parent and mentor today. Divorces, breakups, arguments, the pain we caused or received. Relationships that end leave deep scars. We often take all the blame for the collapse, thinking, if I had been different, things would have worked out. Point 3. Forgive yourself for relationship mistakes. Embrace the principle of mutual growth. No serious relationship collapses due to one person's fault. It was a dance between two imperfect people who stopped growing together. You cannot be responsible for the choices and pain of another person. You cannot control the outcome. You can only control what you extract from the experience. And you extracted wisdom, strength, and an understanding of what you truly need.
Your wisdom today is a direct consequence of that pain. To forgive yourself is to acknowledge, I was an imperfect partner, but I was a student. Allow yourself to admit some relationships had to end. They served their purpose. If they hadn't ended, you wouldn't be standing now on the threshold of something new and perhaps better. Let go of this guilt. Your mistakes in love do not define your capacity to love. They only define your maturity. You gained wisdom. Use it to make your next partnership with yourself or someone else more honest and stronger.
This is a heavy burden, years spent in a job you tolerated but didn't love only for stability. You look back and see tens of thousands of hours that could have been spent on a dream. You feel like you cheated yourself.
Point 4. Forgive yourself for wasted career time. Embrace the principle of fuel. That boring experience, that stability, and those skills you acquired were not a loss. They were necessary preparation.
Your unloved job gave you the financial foundation, so you can leave now, professional skills, management, planning, communication that you can apply to your passion, and, most importantly, the clarity that you no longer want to do this. The boring job wasn't a mistake. It was the cost of learning, the cost of knowing what true drive feels like and what true emptiness feels like. Instead of thinking, I lost 20 years, start saying, I bought 20 years of experience that I can now use to finally start what I love. Turn regret into a resource. You cannot change how you used your time then. You can change how you use your skills and resources today. Forgive yourself for having to be practical, and use that practice to finally become passionate. Bad investments, foolish spending, debt you took on thinking it was a way out. Financial mistakes hit confidence hard and cause deep shame. We punish ourselves, thinking, I should have been smarter, more frugal. Point 5. Forgive yourself for financial failures. Embrace the principle of the lesson. Every loss of money due to a mistake is not a mistake. It is payment for a lesson. It was the most expensive, but perhaps the most valuable lesson you could receive. The money you lost was converted into wisdom. You now know which risks to avoid. You know how to resist social pressure. You know what discipline means. Self-deprecation and shame won't bring that money back. Only a new, wiser action plan can do that. Forgive your past self for his naivete and use his experience to enrich your future.
If you are stuck in guilt, you will avoid making new financial decisions, and that is a guarantee that you will stay stuck. Let go of the guilt and shift your brain into the mode, what will I do with this knowledge today?
Tell yourself, I was imperfect, but I am not broken. I paid for the lesson, and now I am a wiser investor in my future. Your financial past does not define your worth. It only defines your starting point for the next leap. We think our body will forgive everything, but after 50, it starts sending bills, extra weight, back pain, shortness of breath. We look at ourselves and feel guilty for years of sleep deprivation, fast food, and lack of movement. Point 6. Forgive yourself for neglecting your self-care. Embrace the principle of the fresh start. Your body is an incredible instrument, and it is ready to forgive. The problem isn't that you didn't take care of it then, but that you don't give yourself permission to take care of it now. The shame you feel in front of the mirror or the doctor makes you hide. But you cannot change the past. You can only change your next choice. Release the guilt and channel that energy into a small, consistent action. Start minimal. 10 minutes of walking, cutting out 1 serving of sugar, sleeping an hour earlier. This is not a race. It's the restoration of trust with your body. It hasn't failed you. It's simply waiting for your help. Your body is your legacy vehicle. If you don't take care of it, you won't be able to pursue your new mission, which we'll discuss next. Forgiveness here is the acknowledgement that the worst is over and the best is still ahead. Tell yourself, I grant my body forgiveness. I start today with respect and gratitude. Make your health the foundation of your confidence. You deserve to feel strong, energetic, and ready for the next phase. This is the deepest regret we don't even realize. We punish ourselves for not becoming the perfect person we believe we should have been. Not becoming a millionaire, not getting a PhD, not becoming the person our parents would be proud of.
Point 7. Forgive yourself for who you didn't become. Embrace the principle of authenticity. You are free the moment you forgive yourself for the unfulfilled expectations that were not your true desires.
Your worth is not in titles, not in bank accounts, and not in what people think of you. Your worth is in who you are after all these mistakes. You are a collection of wisdom, resilience, and unique stories that no CEO possesses. The ideal you chased was a phantom. It was created by society or someone else's opinion. Your actual life, your failures and triumphs, your family and your strange hobbies, that is your masterpiece. Forgiveness for this unfulfilled ideal is a choice to be happy now. It is the acceptance that you are complete and whole, even while imperfect. It frees you from the eternal rat race. Tell yourself, I am whole. I forgive myself for not meeting expectations that were not mine. I accept my unique worth. This forgiveness is the key to peace and deep, quiet happiness in the second half of life. Regret is an invisible jailer. We have just named its 7 chains: missed opportunities, parenting mistakes, relationship failures, wasted career time, financial failures, neglected health, and the unfulfilled ideal. You cannot change any of those past choices, but you can change your attitude towards them. Each point is not a cause for guilt, but a catalyst for wisdom. This is the fuel that makes your second half of life better than the first. Forgiveness is not something you earn. It is something you give yourself. It is a choice you make to live free. To live by using the lessons you've accumulated, not by carrying the burden you've accumulated. Your main task today: stop punishing yourself. Start small. Pick one of these 7 points that weighs heaviest on you and say out loud, I forgive myself. I am free. I start now. Only when you forgive yourself can you forgive others, and only then can you truly move forward. Let go of the past, because you are needed in the future, wise, free, and fully present. If this video helps you take even one deep breath, like and share it. And in the comments, write, which of these 7 points have you decided to forgive yourself for right now? Your liberation begins with acknowledgement. Act now.